Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zack Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. Each week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for a spirited and lighthearted discussion on whatever the moral or theme of that story is or was. Now, this week it is Zack's turn to bring the joy, bring the fun, bring the lighthearted, story.
Light the campfire for us.
Hey, you know what? It is a bit of a lighter story this week.
Yes!
What?
We're going to a theme park. We're going to have cotton candy.
I went to a theme park like twice in my life, and it was okay.
Wow.
Children? Are there happy children? Puppies?
No.
Cats?
Let me give you a secret about the world, Amanda. There are no happy children.
This is... Wow. Okay.
How about that?
So they're all faking it?
No. They're happy now, but in 10 years when they realize all the traumas that have occurred, they will realize they were never happy.
My God.
So anyway, like I said, a lighter week.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like a real joy machine.
She brought up children. Okay, that's not on me.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Sorry, I'll never bring up children again, for this will become so dour.
Okay.
Okay.
We're on board. We're on board.
Okay, yeah, no children allowed.
All right. I'm ready. I want to hear what Zack has to bring this week.
I want to see if it's actually light.
It's lighter.
Your definition.
Whatever.
Whose definition? I mean, if he says it has to be his definition.
But his definition of light is very different than the dictionary's definition.
There are only 4 murders in the story.
Perfect. We've cut it in half.
I'm fascinated right now. Let's go.
There's 0 murders. Gather around the campfire. It's time for a story. Carl was ready for the big move. You could even say he was excited. Though he knew a relocation would come attached, he was ecstatic and even a little proud when his job offered him the big promotion. A lot of people had been vying for the job, and Carl was the one to earn it. His husband, however, was seemingly less thrilled. When Carl brought the big news of the promotion, Rob was happy. When the move got mentioned alongside it, the response was a little more timid, little more than just, okay. Rob kind of seemed bothered by it. Now, Rob claimed he didn't care. His field of work was attainable in any city or town, considering he was simply a bartender. But he also showed little enthusiasm, as though he was simply along for the ride. It confused Carl, eventually worrying him, and later angering him. This was the opportunity of a lifetime, after all, for Carl and Rob. As these things tend to go, little communication was had on this difficult subject. As these things also tend to go, an argument began. Carl lost it during a normal night's dinner at home. Carl didn't even give Rob a chance to respond. He just laid into him about the lack of support. Finally, Rob did get a chance to speak up. There was a little anger in his voice, just the obvious annoyance we all get when yelled at. Didn't think it had to be a big deal, he began. Obviously, we're moving. This is life-changing. Carl was still fuming. It was a big deal in his eyes. Rob continued, my job doesn't matter. I can find it anywhere. This apartment doesn't matter. We can get one in the new city. You matter. There's only one of you. You're my home, no matter where we are.
Aww.
That's emotional. It still had some darkness.
There is no light without darkness.
Oh, boy.
That's true.
It is, I guess.
That is true.
You just made it sound
that
darker
was a
than
sweet
it is.
story. There
Yeah.
is wherever you are is my home.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's topical to my life. I am moving, so I had moving on the mind.
Well, don't ruin it if it's true or not.
Yeah. Don't tell everyone it's triction.
What do you guys think the moral of the story is?
What's the moral there?
Doesn't matter where you are as long as you're with the person you love.
That's I think he literally said that, so it can't be that easy. Stop overthinking it. Embrace life.
Wow, very good. I literally wrote down, boy, moving is stressful.
That's hilarious.
That's way better than anything I was coming up with.
See, I told you, you know what? Hey, I'm trying to keep it a little lighter this week, all right?
Sometimes people overthink.
Fun day.
We are guilty as well. And you know what? Yes, it is. Moving is always very stressful.
Nobody's ever had a good time moving.
Hey, that's not necessarily true. If you're ending a bad relationship and you're moving out, that's a great day.
Yeah.
Packing is never fun.
That's true, though.
That part's not. But I could tell you one story in particular where somebody moving out was the happiest day I can recall.
Yeah, you didn't like that woman, huh?
I'm just saying it was a good day. Ice Cube could have been playing that whole day.
Wasn't the worst day ever.
Nope.
Wow. Or Jay-Z. Have either of you moved around a lot?
My whole life.
Wow.
I was a military brat. No, that's a movie.
If you two
Stop
don't
quoting
stop
movies.
with movie quotes.
Sorry.
Been mostly quoting one movie on this show, and Jerry Maguire, a classic.
I would. I did when I was younger, and I wouldn't say a lot. I moved around enough. Not a lot. No. No.
I always imagined you as you tell your stories of Illinois Pete. It's always just one house in my mind.
That's pretty much in the same house. I grew up. I mean, my mom had a couple apartments, but I was with my grandparents most of the time. I lived across the street from the project, so that's where I was most of the time.
In the hood.
It was very hoodie. Yep.
You and Ice Cube.
I could have hung out with him back then. Yeah. We came up with around the same time. He's a better rapper than I am.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, we all agree without hearing my rapping skills, and that kind of offends me, but whatever. What about you, Amanda? You said you did move around a lot?
I did. Well, so my parents were split up growing up, which if you listen to some of the other episodes, you probably caught that because we talked about it a little bit. But my dad didn't really move too much. There was only a couple of places, I think like 2 or 3 that I can recall throughout like my entire lifetime with him. But my mom moved, I don't know, it felt like every other month into a different town in a different
That doesn't
area.
sound healthy.
No, it wasn't. And it was never, she just always moved in with whomever she was dating at the time. So it was like, pack your bags. We're going to go there. Or, hey, we're going to live in the car for a couple weeks because mom decided to break up with dude and didn't find a new one for a little while. So here we are.
On the flip side, where is she finding all these dudes ready for that kind of commitment?
I don't know.
For real.
It's like so immediate.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? We've been dating for like 2 weeks with some good times. You want to move in? That's never happened to me.
Maybe she treats them real well.
I don't want to know. But, so I moved a lot. And then as I got older, since adulthood, I think I've moved 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. I don't know. It's a lot. Just situations.
What about you, Zach? You move around a lot?
Yeah, I did. But it was similar to Amanda. There was a lot of mom moving with boyfriends, and then you're there for 3 months, and then the relationship doesn't work out somehow. It's almost like they moved in immediately, and then you float around for a while. I also was moved around. I was shipped around to family members a lot as a kid. Live with your grandparents here, live with your aunts here, kind of thing. Yeah, I moved around a lot. There were a few stable years there in the middle. I lived with my father, and then I got to adulthood, and it was a whole lot of drifting.
Bus stop to bus stop.
I mean, kind of. I lived in a friend's mother's garage for a while. It's
as
just
you do.
Wherever you could.
Well, how do you live in a friend's garage? Exactly?
Friend's mom's garage.
It's just a garage. How do you live in a garage?
Well, what do you mean? You put a couch in there?
Space heater.
What happens in the winter?
These are like the summer and fall months, so it is fine temperature-wise.
What would you have done if you got there to January? I assume that would be a little colder.
Yeah, I think you'd grab some blankets. There was power in the garage, so you just set up the TV, you watch the Matrix trilogy on repeat a lot, and then you just kind of get through it.
That's like a studio apartment.
You see, kind of. It is not too much smaller than a studio apartment I've lived in, for sure.
That would be the biggest front door ever.
Yeah.
Like that front door is just huge.
Did she still park her car in the garage?
No. Parking on the street.
She would actually run them over.
That would have been messed up.
Late night drinking.
That would have been messed up.
Man, I can't believe I ran Zack over again.
Well, you kind of put blankets along the wall, so it kind of looks like you have a wall. Then you put the couch up against the garage door, so you're not really looking at the garage door. So you make it feel homey.
Did anybody ever accidentally open the garage door?
No.
Like, wait, why is the wall moving?
It wasn't a power garage door. It was like you would have to twist the handle and pull it up kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Like you would have to get out of the car to open the garage door.
All right. There wasn't an electric garage door opener.
No, we couldn't afford that. Come on.
Seriously, because I can picture, if you're like in your 20s or something, you're drinking a little too much. I would be playing with that all the time.
Yeah. Well, luckily that was not the case. Although there was a lot of drinking in the garage. But. Unrelated.
Unrelated. I think it's all related.
It still would be funny if Mom opened it and ran you guys over.
I mean, that would be funny if like the car starts pushing against the couch. You're like, huh? What? You're sleeping on it? Because the couch is also your bed in this scenario.
Mom, not again.
Well, it's, friend's mom. Not again.
I get it.
Yeah.
Does the friend still live in the garage?
I don't know.
Huh. That's too bad. Sounds like a great friend.
Wait, hold on.
Well-
Was the friend living in the garage with you? Or did the friend...
Well, yes, more or less. But he could go back. I mean, he went to the house all the time. We showered in the house. But sometimes he would sleep there.
It wasn't like a
Back in
garden
the main
hose.
house.
A garden hose was like brought in. And you guys have to do it in the yard.
No.
Kiddie pool.
No.
Wash off here.
I mean, there's a creek nearby. You go there, you just kind of splash up. You're good to go.
That sounds sanitary.
You guys act like you never lived in a garage before.
I don't know, but you're definitely selling me on it.
I want one. That sounds
not
like
bad.
cool.
I'll definitely drive through and run you over.
Was
if
it a
you want.
3-car or a 2-car?
It's not the worst living environment I've ever had.
Wait, what's the worst?
Wow, what's the worst? Did you live in a subway car?
I would describe the year as a child when I lived with my aunt and uncle as probably the worst.
Did they live in a crack house? Do you want to talk about it?
No, they lived in a nice big house.
Was it like
but they would
breaking-
make me eat at the counter while the family had a separate meal because I wasn't part of the family.
Get out of here.
That is a true story.
Oh my God, that's a Smirk story. You should have wrote a whole story about that one.
You should have.
And then we could have
Probably
just
could've.
spent a half hour making fun of those sons of bitches.
Yeah, maybe I should. But now, I mean, obviously we'll give it away. But
Well, I can call
What are
it
you gonna
early.
do?
True.
yeah, that's fine.
Wait, so explain this again. So they would have dinner at their family dinner table and then
Right.
give you food, but at a separate place. So you just sat there and sadly
So
watched.
I'm making Easy Mac in the kitchen, and then they have like bar stools and counter seating, and I'm sitting there while they're in the dining room. So I have a straight view of the family dinner that they're having, but I have to eat my Easy Mac.
They didn't even offer you any?
No, it took several months of my uncle wearing my aunt down before I got to eat there.
Did she flat out say no when either of you brought it up? Like, no, there's not enough for Zack.
She was not and is not a good person.
She doesn't listen to Smirk. Well, I guess you probably don't care.
No, I don't care.
I was going to say,
I
as
hope
if
she
Zack
listens.
cares about anyone's opinion.
Not at this point in life.
What kind of horrible thing is that? Like a kid sitting down across from a counter watching.
This is
all
Harry Potter
sad,
levels of sad
the
shit.
lonely Hulk songs playing in the background.
Harry Potter, not a bad analogy. Although I get to share my cousin's room, so I did have like a bed. But I don't know. That's a whole other like she would make brownies, for instance, and everyone else would get to eat a brownie. I would not get to eat a brownie unless my uncle snuck me one.
Oh my God, you really were Harry Potter. Do you have a lightning bolt on your forehead?
I was the boy who lived.
Aww.
You do wear glasses. That's weird. You never slept under the
Accio
stairs, though,
repair.
right?
No, I mean no.
Did you
I have
just-
slept under the stairs because my grandparents had like a playroom for me under the stairs, but it wasn't as bad as Harry's situation. No.
I feel like we got detracted and got into a counseling session, and I'm really sorry for listeners, but that was
You
fascinating.
guys always make the joke that Smirk is Zack's therapy, so I guess that's just where the conversation naturally leads.
Wow, that's so sad and kind of cool because it's like a cool story you can share, but a sad, cool story. Garage was better. I like that one because I got to figure chicks would dig that. They come over and be like, "Watch
It's like
me,
that 70s
Oh,
Oh,
show.
yeah, this is a party garage for sure.
watch me open my front door, baby."
Again, it was not power. I would have to lift it. It's not as impressive.
It
yeah,
shows
but
off your muscles.
you just make the sound as you lift it. You're like,
Yeah, that'll get him. That'll get him hot.
oh, all right. Back to your story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, wow. I feel like we really went off on a tangent there.
My fault.
Well, let's take it back down to earth here. Why do so many people have a natural tendency to avoid discussing topics like this? Tough topics.
Hold on a second. I forgot what your story was about. I got so sidetracked.
Yeah, I really like. Let
That
me just
happens.
rewrite the story real quick. It'll be me eating that Easy Mac.
It is like the saddest story I've heard in a long time. I felt like Maury Povich was going to come out.
You might have helped me.
Oh,
Wait, how do you know his last name?
whose last name?
Maury Povich?
Yeah.
He's a TV show
He's a
host.
I know, but
famous
how do you know
man?
his last name?
Because his TV show's called Maury Povich.
Well, his TV show's called, it used to be called The Maury Povich Show, you're right, but now it is just Maury. But he introduces himself. He's like, I'm Maury Povich, and this is Maury.
Dude, I've never paid attention to that in my entire life.
You need it's a tremendous television program.
No, I've watched it. I've just never paid
You
attention.
know how many fathers he's found?
I know. I've watched a lot of
you know
episodes.
how many men he's saved from having to be fathers?
Yeah, exactly.
That's one way to look at it, Zach.
You're free. Nothing's cooler than seeing that guy find out it's not him.
Yeah, they're always jumping around.
Woohoo!
Couldn't be happier.
Like
Occasionally
Tom.
they're like devastatingly sad, but
Like Tom Cruise on that couch, man. Just bopping up and down.
So on
No,
a side
Jerry
note,
Maguire.
can you recap your story for me?
they're moving.
Oh, yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
Eventually an argument began
There you go.
because Carl doesn't think that Rob was giving it the attention it deserved.
That's staying
So
in.
anyway, I used to live in a garage.
Can you recap your story? They're moving. Oh, I get it. That one.
I forgot. What was your question?
This is gonna be one of those episodes where people they just keep laughing at themselves so much.
There's a lot of laughing you can get out though, luckily. Oh my god.
I'll try to take it so she's not gonna stop.
You know, laughing fit over here.
What was the question?
God damn it.
Why do you have such a hard time?
Why do so many people have a natural tendency to avoid difficult topics like this?
Oh yeah. So I would say people have a hard time communicating overall, just in general. Communication is really part of it. Might be. I mean, we've had this in the last couple of episodes where technology is overwhelmed and people are very much based on 140 characters or 280 now. They're very minuscule Facebook posts. People keep everything very short and sweet if they do communicate, so they don't really talk about anything heavy or deep. Plus, people are always afraid of hurting someone's feelings, so they don't want to get into anything.
Mm-hmm. I didn't consider the feelings.
It happens. And people genuinely are afraid of reactions, so they avoid topics entirely, which is not a good way to handle it. But
Right,
that doesn't
because
change.
you can avoid it all you want, but it's eventually you're going to have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would concur with that, and I would also add people are always told that you have to accept the better and the worst of the best and the worst of whomever you're with. So to take a step back and say, I want to tell you that I'm not entirely thrilled about this decision that we're having to make, kind of goes against that in people's minds. I think sometimes it doesn't necessarily if they openly communicate about it, but for you to say, you know what, I really don't want this to, I'm having a hard time accepting this as a decision for my life too. I feel like society kind of teaches you to just accept whatever your relationship throws your way because that's part of what you have to do for your partner. And in some respects, yes, you need to compromise, but it should still be a discussion that you have openly. And if you can't get past it, then that's something that your relationship needs to come to the decision of, like, hey, we can't move past this and come to an agreement.
There's far too much talking in relationships.
You want there to be less communication.
Yeah. Let's just do everything with an Etch-a-Sketch. I just draw a little picture. You figure it out. We'll talk. We'll get into this later.
Are you good at Etch-a-Sketch?
No.
I kind of want to have your wife on as a guest now.
No.
To find out how profoundly sad she is.
Probably.
She's a Latina. She would probably just go and start speaking Spanish or something and yelling at him.
No, she would cut me. That's what she does.
There's no conversation. There's just cutting.
Yeah, you listen to me or I
Okay.
cut you.
Oh, that's what marriage is.
Pretty close. Yeah. What do you think, Zach? Why do you think it is that people...
Yeah, irrational fear, I would say.
In terms of
Right.
how do you...
But yeah, you're afraid of getting in an argument, or you're afraid of disrupting whatever the status quo is. You have a certain routine to life. You go to work, you come home, you eat dinner with your significant other, you talk about your days. But if you bring up a difficult topic, it really disrupts your flow. And a 40-hour work week is already so stressful that the idea of an argument that you are knowingly walking into can be pretty overwhelming.
Some people have a hard time confronting their own emotions to themselves, though, too. So,
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not even like, I don't want to talk to this person. It's that they're not even coming to the consensus in their mind of, this is bothering me. This is what's bothering me. Sometimes they just take, oh, well, work is stressing me out. I'm so irritated this week, blah, blah, blah. When in reality, in this scenario, it would be, I'm stressed about this moving situation. So they kind of mask it with other situations that they can try to, avoid actually coming to terms with what the real problem is.
Word.
Okay, definitely a Zack response.
What? I mean, hey, it seems like a good answer. Jeez. Amanda, you sound like you've been laughing for 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, my nose is a little stuffy from laughing.
Yeah. Let's end with a fun question. What would your ideal house be?
Oh, this is an interesting question.
It would be a garage.
Yeah. Well, you don't want walls, though. You just want blankets.
I would. And I want a garage door with a garage door opener so I can make
You want to power a garage.
Yeah.
So you can get women.
Yeah, exactly. I think they dig it for at least, the first couple of girls you dated. And then word would get around, he only lives in a garage, and that wouldn't be so cool.
Doesn't seem to matter. Girls hook up with bad guys all the time.
That's true. Girls like bad boys.
And you know what? Hey, guys hook up with bad girls all the time. Just level the playing field.
Sure did. I mean, do.
What? So how about in a giant mansion?
No, I would never want a mansion. I've thought about this a lot. You always wonder if I win the lottery, what kind of house would I get?
Yeah. Everyone has that thought.
But I would never pick the giant one. It would be more, I don't know, 2-story, 3-car garage, maybe 4-car, just so I could say, I got 4-car garage and you only got 3. Pool, deck. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing really fancy. Got to have a finished basement. Got to have a pool table. Got to have a pool. That's really all I care about. I don't need much
like
more
a normal suburb kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't need that whole. I mean, some people get crazy about it, and I got to have 16,000 acres. Why? Who's going to mow that? I don't want to. So give me a yard where, I would like to have a little bit of space from neighbors, but I don't need a big house. No.
You want a pool or anything like that?
Yeah, I just said that. Wait,
I think you said pool table.
I want pool table and a pool.
Oh, so my misunderstanding.
I can play some, shoot some balls, and then go out and jump in the pool. And that
Inside or outside pool?
Oh, would I want an indoor pool?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love an indoor pool. I'd love to have that frickin' It's a Wonderful Life pool where I just have a basketball court that.
So it is you want a little extra.
There's some things I would splurge on. I would love an indoor pool because then you could swim all year round.
Would you have it in like with those giant glass windows all around it, like you see in the movies?
As long as it protected my fair skin from annihilation. Yeah, if you kept the sun away. I would love an indoor pool where you get the sun, but you don't get the SUV or SV. What is it? UV rays, not SUV rays.
Yeah, they're not like just going to throw it on a Hyundai Sonata
or
something.
SVU, either one. I don't want
Stabler coming in.
Dropping through the window. My aunt had one like that, an indoor pool that was not directly in the sun. But
was she rich?
Well, she owned a bunch of horses, so they weren't like.
What's the horse to pool connection?
Right. Well, that's how they got their money.
If you have horses, you obviously have money, Zach. That's what she's saying.
Horses are expensive, but also you can get money from them too.
So are pools.
They are, but she had like the little like a skylight that helped bring in some of the light, but it was like a dimmed, I guess, windows. It was pretty sweet.
My friend Troy, his mom had a pool in the basement.
What?
You go down in the basement. I'm not making this up. He took me to his mom's house once and took me downstairs. She's like, "You gotta see this." I'm like, "See what?" This is usually how stories end. So I'm like, "All right, I'll follow you. Just don't be creepy." We get down there and we go out in this back room, go past like a little tool area, and come into a giant pool.
Well, I guess
indoors.
If it floods in the basement, then you're at least all right.
I mean, was it kind of like a YMCA setup where it had like the tiles and the drains around it too?
Yeah, it had that whole thing. And then there actually was a door on the other side that went to the outside. So it was like an exposed basement. So you actually could go outside from there. It was really cool.
Sounds rad.
Yeah, I think that might be the house. Can I put a movie theater in there too?
Nail it. Amanda, you would want a movie theater in your house? Is that what you're saying?
For sure. I like with 5 seats though. I don't want there to be a lot of people because then I don't have to invite everyone. I can be like, there's only 5 seats.
And they show up with their friend like, no, there's only 5. Sorry.
You better break up with them and come back alone. We only do 5th wheels here. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would totally want a movie theater. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would too. All right, I'm adding none in my house. I would add a wing.
Your house keeps getting bigger.
It does. Just knock out a bedroom. There you go.
Put your pool on the 2nd floor. Switch it up.
Walk-in closet.
Put your pool on the second floor seems like the dumbest idea ever.
That definitely is.
It's like having a waterbed. It's a bad plan.
Anyway, man, a walk-in closet.
Yes, walk-in closet for sure. And I don't know, maybe like one of the bathrooms, because you have a couple, and one of them has one of those jacuzzi bathtubs.
Nice.
And a bidet.
Yeah, well, you want to be clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is your setup also just kind of a 2-story suburbia kind of home?
I'd rather have ranch because I would want
Okay.
it to be a house that I can live in when I'm older, and I don't want to have to worry about stairs when I'm older. Or if I have family that ends up moving in, I want them to feel comfortable and walking around if they're old.
And neighbors, you don't want any of those.
I mean, I wouldn't want to live isolated. First of all, when you live in a situation where you don't have a lot of neighbors, typically that's because you're in the country and that's a lot of bugs. I don't want that situation.
Jesus Christ.
She hates bugs. It's
I
true.
really do.
I'm gonna plan my property
I-
purchases
seriously-
around my
It is
panic.
well documented
Yes.
on Smirk that a lot of her decision making revolves around bugs.
I
Yep.
just don't understand this
I
logic.
just don't. Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah. So seriously, I would make a decision.
Would you do like a walkthrough through a house?
Yes.
Most beautiful. Let me finish the
I
question.
already know what you're going to ask. Go ahead.
You do a walkthrough through a house. You love this house. It's your favorite house. And then you see a bunch of spiders.
Nope.
Do you walk
Bye.
out?
Bye.
Do you honestly think most houses don't have spiders?
They do, but there's some houses where they just don't have that big of a bug problem. Or if you have like somebody who can spray, then there's not an issue. They can take care of it enough. But if you're already going in the house and there's already bugs everywhere, or like centipedes, and then there's spiders, and then, oh, I don't know, man. I can't talk about this.
Wow.
Ugh.
Okay.
Well, then.
That's just weird.
I
but
would totally make
good
a
on you.
decision based on that.
Okay. Well, good to know if I am ever like vying for property in the same area as you. I would just throw some spiders in there. Boom, my house.
Even if they're fake, there's a good chance I'll just be like, nope.
Oh, cool. Then I'll get gummy spiders and I can eat them afterward. Dual purpose.
Zach, what kind of things would you like to have in your home, or how would you like it to be set up?
Yeah, now my house in comparison feels very eccentric because I've always wanted to live in a lighthouse.
Oh.
In a lighthouse?
Well, I mean, you have a lighthouse, obviously, and it's on a cliffside, but there's always a house attached because you need somewhere for the lighthouse keeper to live. But yeah, I've always wanted to live on a cliff with a lighthouse.
So not just at the top where the light goes around.
No, I mean, I certainly I would have the bat cave inside of the lighthouse, obviously, but
It goes
Isn't
down
this-
10 stories to your real house.
all my secrets. No, it is,
Isn't
always
this
wanted to
called The
live.
Grudge?
The garage.
The Grudge.
Grudge.
The
Movie.
Grudge.
Isn't that-
I haven't seen The Grudge in maybe ever. I don't know.
So why a lighthouse? That's an interesting choice. Just because you like the view?
I was going to say something about the aesthetic seems cool. I don't know. You know, my grandmother was obsessed with lighthouses growing up. She collects all kinds of lighthouse trinkets. So I just kind of saw lighthouses all the time as a kid. So there's some holdover there that I want to live at a lighthouse.
That's really
Well, the house
interesting.
next to the lighthouse, not the lighthouse itself.
Although it would be kind of cool to see somebody that just lived in the top of a lighthouse. And it would be
Well,
so
I
bright.
mean, there are spiral stairs on the inside that lead all the way up to the top of the lighthouse. And then usually there are little walking platforms as well. So you get some space.
Once you're up there, I mean, it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark, it's light, it's dark.
Well, you close the hatch when you go to bed.
All right.
Are you just talking about you're just living on the railing
Yeah.
up top little walkway?
Originally, when you first said it, I'm like, well, that'd just be a weird way to live.
Just dealing with all inclement weather
Why are you
head
just,
on.
Why are you
You're
just
homeless in this scenario, by the way. You're homeless and you're living on the guy's lighthouse property.
That's kind of what I thought you meant. That's why it struck me as odd. I had forgot about there being an actual house there.
Yeah. And the house itself would be, I don't really want anything crazy there. I would have a basement that would be very, very geeked out.
Arcade.
No, not an arcade. I don't know. There would be some kind of overarching theme. You know, this probably means nothing to nobody, but it might be like the planet of Oa down there from Green Lantern.
Mm.
Be kind of cool. Just it would have some kind of theme, but yeah, it would be where all the geek stuff happens. Inspired by another uncle of mine who had a very you walk down to his basement and you were just kind of in the Mos Eisley Cantina from Star Wars. It was pretty cool.
Get out of here.
It has to be very expensive.
He recreated the entire cantina?
It's pretty sweet.
Who shoots first?
There's no question on who shoots first.
Okay. Han.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. George Lucas said Greedo.
George Lucas is a liar.
Do you have
Lucas.
photos of this? Is this one of the few things you've ever taken a photo of?
No, they since moved out of this house, and I haven't been to his new house. I assume he's recreated it, but I don't know for sure.
I respect it. I respect this guy.
Can we meet him? Can we go to his house?
Hang out at his house for the weekend and have a party there? And also, does he have the band from the cantina? Because that'd be even cooler.
That would be cool. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've talked to him in a solid decade. So, but I'll give him a ring.
Yeah, you should definitely reconnect.
Yeah.
For sure.
For us.
Yeah. For you, I mean.
No, for us.
See, there's a little bit more of a fun ending than usual, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely lighter. Nobody died.
Yet.
I don't.
It's not over yet.
We haven't wrapped this up yet. But you
I
can
forgot
go
the postscript. All right. So what do you guys think? Truth or fiction?
Triction.
Amanda, look, I'm not playing around. Okay. Truth or fiction? All right. This is deadly serious.
Truth.
I'll go fiction.
It's fiction.
Friction. You can't just stop.
It's fiction. It's just fiction.
He just made it up, so it's not triction.
It
Sure,
could have been
it was
triction.
inspired by people moving,
See,
but it
so
is still
it's
fiction.
Ah. I understand. What's the title of your tale?
Brown boxes,
Aw,
Oh,
like UPS.
or like moving.
Or like moving.
like UPS.
Not FedEx. They have the white box.
That's true. They do.
Wow. All right, well, as our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk, and I think our next one should be one. If you'd like the chance to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. Join the conversation by joining our Facebook group and follow us on Twitter @SmirkPodcast, and be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe to Smirk on your podcast app of choice, or check out our website at smirkpodcast.com. Zach, you want to take us out? And by the way, do you think that room at that garage is still available? In case I have a bad weekend or something with the wife and I got somewhere to go? Because it sounds like a place to party.
As you tell your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
So that's
Hashtag in the garage. Smirk in
Yeah,
the garage.
I did not acknowledge that with
so I can't go party at Mama's house? Mama's
Well,
garage?
there's not even a power door, so you're not going to get any girls over there, Aaron. So
That's true. Hang on, baby. Let me open this. Got it.